back to our channel, Judy and
Jimmy.
So today we are going to be teaching you guys how to make Thom Khem, aka caramelized pork soup with eggs. It's very delicious and it's not all that healthy because it has a lot of sugar.
But it's bomb.
It is so good. You guys gotta try it. So follow us. Let's go. Before we get started, I'm gonna teach you guys how to marinate your meat before we cook it. Let's start. So we're gonna cut our green onions. We're just gonna slice this all up. Slice, slice, slice. And the only reason why I like to marinate my meat is because I feel like it holds more flavor into it. So when we do marinate it, we're gonna marinate it for at least a good like 30 to 45 minutes before we start cooking it. So we're just gonna put this aside. Okay. And here, these are our meats. This is what we're gonna be using today. We have our 3-layer pork and we have our pork feet. So since our pork feet is already cut, we're gonna move it over here to our tray since it's already pre-cut for us. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our 3-layer pork and we're just gonna cut this all up. Look how fat it is. Oh my god, it's so meaty. Okay, so we're just gonna simply just slice it. Okay, this is way too small. We wanna do it in like chunks. So I think this chunk is good. Just like that. See guys? So you're just gonna put that all together. So we're just gonna cut them as chunks. And as you guys can see, since our meat is big, we're gonna just basically cut it in half because we don't want it too big. We want it at least bite size. So we have our cut meats, we have our 3-layer pork alongside with our pork feet. Let me actually wash my hands now before we start mixing everything all together, before I touch everything. So I'll be right back. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our meats. We're gonna add in our green onions that we chopped up earlier. We're gonna mix that all in. We're gonna get our black pepper. I say put about, I would say that's 1 tablespoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And MSG is optional. MSG is optional. You don't have to do this, but I like to add it. I always put very little though, like 1 teaspoon. Nothing crazy. And then we're gonna add in our sugar. I would say sugar would be 2 tablespoons. Our salt will be 1 tablespoon. And then we're gonna also add in our sweet soy sauce. I would say that is 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon. Sorry guys, I didn't really do my measurements because when I make Thom Khem, it's hard to do measurements. It's all on eyes. And I'm also gonna add oyster sauce. I would say oyster sauce is 2 tablespoons as well. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hands and we're just gonna mix everything all up. And we're just gonna massage all the ingredients all into the mix. Okay, now that we have everything all mixed and massaged, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this sit for a good 30 minutes. But since while we let this sit, we're gonna actually take our 5 eggs and we're just gonna boil that until it's fully cooked, and then we're just gonna peel it. So we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we're going so now what we're gonna do, since we're waiting for our meats to marinate, we're gonna get everything ready to put into the pot. And these are what we need. We are gonna be using the bamboo shoot tips along with ginger, and we're gonna use about 2 garlic cloves. Okay, let's do this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our bamboo tips, and then we're just gonna basically slice it into thin. Bam, like that. And again. So we're gonna do this to all of the bamboo. But what I always do is my can of bamboo shoot tips, I always open it and I drain the water out. I fill this with hot water all the way to the top and let it sit for a good minute or 2, and then that's when I start cutting it. And you guys could do that as well, because it takes away that taste that I can't explain. So now we're gonna put our bamboos all in here. And then I have my handy dandy napkin that I'm gonna take and just wipe down real quick. It's okay, it's just water, so it's fine. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our garlic and then we're just gonna mince 2. I usually leave the tip on. I don't really take it off because, I mean, it's fine. You don't really have to, but other people like to. So you're just gonna mince it. You don't have to really mince it like fully mince, but I think this is basically good. Yep, just like that. Okay, that's good enough. I'm gonna put that to a side. And I already did my garlic. Ginger. Sorry guys. So I took my ginger. And then I already basically peeled all the skin off. So basically what you're gonna do is you're just gonna try to basically flatten it, which I can't. I'm not strong enough. So my honey's gonna do that later for me. And that's basically about it. We got our eggs as well. So we boiled about 5 eggs. So that will also be going into the soup. So let's just wait with me and let's get cooking. Now that we waited 30 minutes for our meat to marinate, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pot right here. We're gonna put it on high heat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sugar, and we basically wanna cover the whole bottom of the pan basically with sugar. I know it's a lot of sugar, but we need it to caramelize. See how it's not? So we're gonna add a little bit more. This is why it's hard to give you guys measurements, because it's all on the eyes. Okay, so I think that's good enough. Not add too much. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the pot here. We're gonna let it do its business, and we're gonna come to like a caramel color, like a light brown color. So we're just gonna let this melt. You guys can see we have our caramel color that we want with the sugar. So we're just gonna mix this all up, and now that we have it all melted, we wanna just put our, let me put my vent on real quick, sorry guys. We're gonna lower it to like a medium-low heat, and we're gonna take our meats, and we can dump it all in, just like that. We're just gonna mix it all together until all of it is basically, what do you call it? All covered with the caramel, I guess, with all the sugar. So we're just gonna mix all this together. And as you guys can see, my spoon, it's like hardened on my spoon, but it's okay because it'll come off as we go. So just mix, mix, mix. And we're just gonna let it sit here for a good 5 minutes, and then we're gonna stir this within like 2 minutes, I guess you can say. Sorry guys, just bear with me. So I'm just gonna let that simmer up for a little bit. And also, a lot of people, when they make Thom Khem, which caw or caramelized pork soup, they add what do you call it? They add coconut soda or coconut juice into the soup as well, but since I totally forgot to buy that, we're gonna actually skip that today. So we're just gonna let this simmer. We're gonna basically mix this all together. Look at that, guys. I wish you guys could smell it though. Yum, yum, yum. delicioso. I said it right. Okay. Let's wait for a good 2 minutes again. Fish. Okay, so now that we basically had this simmer for a good 5 minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our water that I pre-boiled, and then we're gonna basically cover it till the meat is covered. Basically, that's how you know the amount of water. So there we go. Now that everything's all covered, we're gonna mix this all together. Perfect. And now at this time we're gonna take one sour anise, something like that. We're gonna just dump it right in. We're gonna take our bamboo shoots that we cut earlier, dump that in as well, and we are gonna add in our 5 eggs, along with our ginger and garlic. And now we're just gonna basically stir this around. Make sure all of it is down. Make sure it's all covered. I just keep going like this because I'm trying to get the sugar off my spoon, but it will. Okay, so now that we have this simmer, we're gonna put this on basically low, medium low, and we're just gonna let this simmer for a good hour, and then we're gonna come check on it. Okay, come back in an hour, guys.
Yeah, and it's edible. You will not eat my son's necklace. Not your son, Dave. It's just a chipmunk.
We forgot to add our fish sauce. So we're gonna do, let's see, 3 ladle spoons of this. That's 2 and 3. Now we're just gonna mix this all together. And again, we're just gonna let this sit and simmer for a good hour now. And as you guys can see, the soup is now nice and brown, which is the perfect color for this soup. And it's already, okay, it's all set. The meat is all tenderized and everything too. That's what you want to look out for as well. So everything's all tender. So let's plate our dish and let's go eat. Get a lot of pork feet. I love pork feet. So good. Can't forget their meat. Okay guys, let's go eat. Okay, now let's give this a try. Got my bamboo. Yes, my pepper. Pig's feet, my favorite. Whew, it's a little hot.
Oops. Damn.
It's okay.
I spilled a little bit. I like to take my some eggs.
And I love to eat my Thom Khem with green mustard. This is like, I can't explain.
Pickled?
Yeah, pickled.
Yeah.
It's such a good combination. So grab this. Hits the spot, guys. Such comfort food. That's why I like this. Good, honey?
Yep. So hot.
Ooh. Spicy.
Let's do that again.
Well, I hope that was easy for you guys to make. Don't forget to subscribe and press that
Notification bell.
ding. Okay, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Peace.
We are so full.